All right, guys, we've got a fun one, a informative one today. It's gonna be a lot of facts, but this will be all good stuff if you're thinking of moving to the area. We are gonna talk about how affordable it is to live in Kansas City. If you've been doing any sort of research about moving to the area, probably have heard that the Midwest is very affordable. We're gonna break that down, not just home prices, but other things like utilities and taxes, things like that.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor, this is Curtis. And as much as we love doing these videos for you guys, and we do love these videos, but more importantly, we love helping you with your real estate needs. So when you are looking to move to Kansas City, please reach out to us, give Curtis a call, shoot him a text to go look at some properties. And then when you're ready to buy and you need help with the financing, you know where to reach me. Last thing, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell. So that way, every week when we come out with a new video, you get notified of each and every new video.
Awesome, let's dive into these. All right, so pretty easy for us. We're gonna kick it off with home prices. This is something that we're well versed in, so we may as well start there. The median home price last year, 2022, the entire Kansas City metro area was $269,000. Obviously, that money's gonna get you further or less, depending on which area of the metro you wanna live in, but that ranks pretty high in as far as the nation's affordability goes.
So we are 33% lower than the national average for home prices.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, and year over year, Kansas City saw a 3% increase in the median value of homes.
Yeah.
So every year you're gonna get a little bit of an increase in the value of your home once you do move in, but you're not gonna see the high highs or the low lows like you would see if you're moving to Denver or California or somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah, they have some pretty high spike and pretty low dips. The other thing about Kansas City and the Midwest being affordable is it also is pretty steady. So you know what they always say, buy real estate now and wait for later. And that really rings true here in the Kansas City area.
So the next thing is cost of utilities. So on average, on an annual basis, Kansas City is about 1.5% higher than the national average as far as cost of utilities, so it's basically right at the average amount. So if you include water, sewer, trash, electricity, and gas, you're gonna spend about $264 a month in Kansas City. So that's on an annual average size home.
Right, and one thing to point out is because we have such varying degrees in our seasons, the summers get really hot and the winters get pretty cold, you'll see those averages of each individual portion vary quite a bit. So like in the summer, you are going to see much more higher electricity bills because your air conditioning is running.
Yep.
Conversely, in the winter, a lot of homes have gas heat, gas furnaces, so your electricity bill is going to tank, which is great, but your gas bill might go up a little bit. Now, obviously, some homes are electric only. They don't have any gas. So all in all, the average right around there, the $264 a month, that's probably going to be a pretty good across the board average. So
yeah, I know one thing cool about, I don't know if other areas do this, but in Kansas City, because we have so much varying from month to month on your electricity bills, the electricity company actually will do it on a monthly average. And you just pay that same every single month, no matter how much you use, which really helps in budgeting. But you're not going to get the discount in the winter, right? It's going to be the same. So that's one thing to help out. The other thing is water. Every city has their own water. We're in Lee Summit, especially in the really hot, dry months, does tend to be, about $200 a month, maybe sometimes more. But again, that's me running my sprinkler system every single day.
Sure.
If you're not doing that, water bills typically $60 to $80 a month.
The only other thing to include in here is internet. We won't talk about cable because it's kind of going by the wayside, but Kansas City is actually a pretty good hub for fiber.
Yep, that's right.
It actually ranks like in the top 5% in the country for fiber access.
Everywhere in Kansas City has Google Fiber, but I would say 95% of it does. So if you have Google Fiber, that's the easy choice.
Cool. All right, so the next point to talk about is gas prices. This is gonna be pretty important because we have such a lack of public transportation like subways or light rails, things of that nature. You're gonna need a car to get around Kansas City. So gas prices are important. Thankfully, Missouri and Kansas are in the top 5% of the cheapest gas in the country.
Missouri tends to be slightly cheaper than Kansas right now, just because Kansas has a few more cents cents a gallon in tax. So if you're close to the state line, you tend to jump over to the other side just to grab some fuel. But both of them are, as far as across the nation, very inexpensive.
Very affordable, which is great because you're gonna be doing a lot of driving if you move to Kansas City.
That's right.
Little fun fact, it's pretty common to have gas stations on the water here, like at your lakes, especially down at Lake of the Ozarks. You'll notice that it's significantly cheaper on the water, which kind of sounds backwards because you think it'd be more expensive to have to deliver it to the water, but you don't pay that road tax on the gas on the water. So I always thought that was kind of interesting how much significantly cheaper gas was on the water.
So the next item is eating out or just food in general. So I would say on average, your more casual dining is going to be 15 to 20 bucks a person. And then your higher end is going to be, anywhere from 30 to 60 on up per person. So at Grinders, prime example, we each had a sandwich and we had a beer, and it was 20 bucks, and that was with tip. The sandwich was 12 bucks, so you can get in for less than $15 for lunch if you have water.
The Grinders sandwiches are not to be missed. It was incredible. I had the Reuben, you had the pastrami sandwich, incredible.
It was quick too.
You go into some of your, like he was saying, you go into some of your higher end, maybe your dinner places. If you want steak, if you want chicken, things like that. It will be a little bit more expensive, obviously, but still pretty darn affordable, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a ton of high-end restaurants too, if that's what you want. If you need that like date night out, we've got places down on the plaza or downtown that are more that higher end, steak, wine, dessert.
Real quick off the top, what's your favorite dinner spot? You and Danielle.
Stock Hill.
Stock Hill. Yeah, well, that's going to blow our budget here, but
yeah. So if Stock Hill is, along with a few others, is one of the top tier restaurants.
High end.
Yeah, and
special occasions.
Exactly. We only go birthdays and Valentine's Days, typically anniversary, and you are, with drinks and steak, you're going to look at 100 to 125 a person.
Yeah. So we kind of cover all the spectrums here in Kansas City as far as dining options. So definitely do not miss the food scene if you're going to move to the Kansas City area.
Yeah, and if you are like what to expect as far as grocery cost, so we estimate about $200 a person per month in groceries. So that's going to get you all your essentials.
I think the statistics wise, we were pretty right on national average as far as grocery costs go.
That's right.
And of course, we have all the options here. You can go to your higher end grocery stores like your Price Chopper or your Hy-Vees,
Whole Foods.
But then you still have the more cost effective options like Aldi's or Trader Joe's, things of that nature. So you really have tons of options at your availability.
All right, so the last thing we'll talk about today is taxes. So when it comes to taxes, Kansas City is ranked 32nd.
Being tax friendly?
Yes, so we're the 32nd most tax friendly metro in the country. So when it comes to like state income tax, we're on the relatively low side. Both Missouri and Kansas are on the relatively low side, around 5% for state income tax. Kansas City, Missouri, if you live or work in Kansas City, Missouri, has an additional 1% tax. As far as property taxes goes, property tax averages 1.39% of the value of the home, which is actually pretty high.
It's on the higher end.
Yeah,
sure.
I know some areas like Denver or Florida, their taxes tend to be cheaper. Denver, I know, is closer to the 1% as far as total tax.
A little fun fact, as Taylor said, Missouri ranks number 32 for the most tax-friendly metro area. The number one tax-friendly metro area is Las Vegas. Makes a lot of sense. They make so much money from the casinos that they give their residents a break on the taxes. So if you don't want to move to Kansas City, maybe you want to move to Vegas.
So if you thinking about moving to Kansas City and you want to save a little bit on your taxes, and if you work from home or don't have to work in Kansas City proper, live outside of Kansas City, so that way you do save that little bit on the taxes there. But like we said, overall, the state tax is going to be on your lower side as far as total income tax rate.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for what we have for you guys as far as the affordability of Kansas City in 2023. A lot of these numbers were from 2022, but that's because it's like January 9th right now. So that's all we had to pull from. So overall, Kansas City is 13% below the national average as far as affordability goes. And I think we rank like 31 or 32 as far as the most affordable metro areas throughout the nation. So all the more reason why you should move to Kansas City to go along with all the great things that we have here. So again, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the bell button so you get alerts every single time we make one of these new videos. We've got more great stuff coming to you. And as always, if you want to know more about Kansas City, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks, guys.